Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Talking Skritt. I'm your host John, better known as Dale around Yakspin. We have a fantastic show for you. The YouTube partner program changes and how they affect Guild Wars 2 content creators. ArenaNet helps out a member of the community, and PvP players try to fix match manipulation by match manipulation. And much more, but first let me introduce you to my fellow hosts. He is a moderator over at MMO Champion. With the PvP season launching, did he leave a path of destruction or did he get buried? Say hello to Jim.
Column A, column B. I think one of my first matches was 500 to 39.
Nice.
Yeah, it was.
Ooh.
Yeah, it wasn't fun, but it was an interesting time. Got 8 games, was 5 and 3, so I have to get 2 more to finish my placements. But this season will be interesting, and I am happy to talk about that when we get to the PvP changes and stuff. So it's going to be fun.
So. Definitely going to be interesting. He streams over on his channel, where he answers his Twitch channel, where he answers the age-old question: Is Age sleeping well with all these YouTube monetization changes? If not, may I suggest a Serta mattress and a My Pillow brand pillow for the best night's sleep you can get? Say hello to Age.
Are we sponsored by them now, or what?
Hashtag not an ad.
Sponsored.
Total joke ad. Hashtag joke ad.
No, I'm sleeping well. We'll get into it later, but yeah, I'm sleeping fine. I'm good.
Emote Age bed.
Yeah, put in code AGE for 0% off, and they'll question why you put that in the first place. But yeah, let us jump right into it. So I think the biggest thing that kind of like really rang out, of course, this whole week with the whole YouTube partner program changes, and it kind of brought into light, you know, how it could affect Guild Wars 2 content creators. And I know a lot of people have been asking, like, wondering what's going to happen to some of their favorite content creators, because I mean, while we all love Guild Wars 2, it's, you know, not the, you know, doesn't rake in loads of views by anyone, you know, that picks up and plays it. So, I mean, with the new partner program, if people don't know, they are changing it so the eligibility requirement for monetization will be changed to 4,000 hours of watch time within the past 12 months and at least 1,000 subscribers. And unfortunately, they're not grandfathering in the old, like, accounts that have already cleared the monetization change. They made it so the people that have had this monetization and is not reaching these new requirements have 30 days to meet that new threshold. And I do want to make it clear that I know a lot of people, when they heard 4,000 hours of watch time, that's not like you don't have to make 4,000 hours of content. It's, say if you have 1,000 subscribers, they would have to watch 4 minutes each of your, you know,
yeah. If
5
people watch a 5-minute video, that's 25 watch minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's an important thing to note, that it's not. Yeah, and like chat saying, I saw that shaman bringing it up, because I think even that shaman said that with the new changes, they wouldn't make the cut.
Yeah. I would like to point out that Wooden Potatoes was ahead of the game. That's why he has 40-minute videos. He knew.
That's why he rants about every frame of every trailer.
He knew all along. He's a prophet, and he just kept himself safe from this. But no, seriously. The YouTube content creators who have, you know, guides or you know, are popular, have like decent sized videos, or have like videos that have discussions, things like that, they're probably okay for the most part. It's other YouTube content creators who may have like shorter videos, who don't get a lot of that may get a lot of views but just not enough, or like smaller content creators who are actually getting affected by this. And
Mithrin's right. It's going to hit the animation community really hard, which is going to suck, because there are a lot of great animators that get their start on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's quite interesting. And for me, I got hit by this as well. I'm gonna get demonetized in 30 days. I don't care. I don't put up videos for money. I put it up because I want to. It's fun, and I help people out at the same time. The only thing I have a problem with is well, there's two things. Okay, so for people who actually want to make that small income on YouTube, they're not gonna get that anymore. That kind of sucks. But the other thing is that, and I think it's one of the more important things, and that's why I'm kind of a little irritated, is because YouTube puts ads on my videos, they're more likely to show up in people's feeds, because YouTube wants people to watch those videos. They want people to watch the ad-related videos. So if there's a Guild Wars 2, let's say for example, there's a Guild Wars 2 Thief video, you randomly watch, there's a higher chance that one of my videos might pop up, like my dagger pistol guide build would show up.
Yeah, it's in their best interest if you properly tag, like say if someone's already watching a Thief video and you put in the tag, get GW2 Thief, if it has a suggestion, it's in YouTube's best interest to show this, be like, here's another Thief video that has an ad on it that could make us money. So yeah, it's in their best interest to try to put similar things in, so you hopefully click it.
Yeah, and Netco brings up a good point about, people who are getting affected by this didn't necessarily make a lot of money on YouTube. I would say on average you would get maybe $150 a year, maybe upwards of maybe 300. But the thing is that some of those small creators use that as a progression goal. They actually see that progress, and some of them see it as a goal. I'm going to make my first $100 on YouTube. That's something that a lot of people look forward to, and some people are going to get cut out from that now, and that kind of sucks. I actually don't know if they're going to do a payoff for
yeah, that's the interesting thing, is because if for people who don't know, when you with the YouTube AdSense thing, you cannot take anything out until you have at least $100, which, a lot of people were saying in chat and all over, you're not getting that in a day as a new YouTuber.
Yeah, I did. I think out of all the bigger YouTubers that made videos about this, I think Boogie actually made a good comment on Twitter. It's I know this sucks. Well, it's along the lines, I'm paraphrasing, but I know this sucks, but if you keep at it and you work hard at it, I'm sure you can make it, type of deal. And that's kind of encouraging from him. But it's a much steeper hill to climb now, I have to admit.
One of the things that has kind of always bothered me is that it always felt that YouTube was originally created as, quite honestly, just a platform for people to have fun on. Like cat videos, animals acting goofy. There was this one video that I found, I think it's still on, it's called Incredible Luck, and I can't remember the artist on the song, but it's I'm Gonna Live Until I Die, and it's like a lounge song. I can't remember the exact style, but it's people with absolutely crazy near misses with accidents. There's a lot of rally car races where the car just passes that far from somebody's leg. Yeah, that kind of stuff. And then Magnus Godric, I can't even highlight your name because Twitch is weird and you have lime green and that hurts my eyes to read your name. Magnus Godric brings up a good point. Patreon.
Yeah, and I was gonna say another like Age said, some of the bigger YouTubers talked about it. I know Phil DeFranco, he talked about it on one of his episodes this week, and he suggested doing Patreon. He also suggested if you can do a Teespring, if you have a logo or something and you own it, that's the important thing. Don't, if you have a copy, if it's some other assets that aren't yours, if you actually own it or made it, throw it on a mug, throw it on a t-shirt, get your fans to generate interest. Or there was also this, I have to see it again, apparently there's some kind of browser now that
yeah, Phil talked about it on
Brave.
Yeah,
that's what it's called. Brave.
That
was cool.
Yeah, that seems interesting and promising.
The reason I brought up that video is that was what I looked on YouTube for. I looked for interesting videos that I would, stuff that's new. I follow a bunch of the stuff that John and Hank Green do with SciShow, and Today I Found Out, and the good stuff, just learning. This, and going off of what QED said, this is just a higher barrier to get in. Meanwhile, you've got people who make good stuff, but don't have the threshold. And this might get a little controversial, and then you have Logan Paul.
Okay, we're gonna bring that. Okay.
Can we name more people so we could put these in the tag? Like, let me write these down. Like,
oh my god! So
who's also relevant?
I'm gonna bring this back around to Guild Wars 2 because it's a Guild Wars 2 podcast. I swear. So you've got people that are little creators. They don't get embedded in other websites. Matt Pat from Game Theory, he is actually a YouTube consultant. He teaches classes on how to do well on YouTube, how to get people to watch your stuff, how to market yourself on YouTube. YouTube's algorithm looks at your video getting embedded on sites all across the internet. He just did a huge video about the Logan Paul loophole, which is what he called it, in that outrage videos get linked everywhere because outrage drives traffic on news sites. So CNN, MSNBC, Fox, all these big websites, and for everybody who follows YouTube, you know what Logan Paul video I'm talking about. But it gets linked everywhere, so it gets recommended.
Mm-hmm.
The little people, like the interesting specific content stuff, Guild Wars 2, don't get linked everywhere. If you get, like, Wooden Potatoes gets linked everywhere in gaming sites. So MMORPG, gaming forums, stuff like that. Delphi, hell, Delphi having their own website helped with the algorithm. Like when you search Guild Wars 2 on YouTube, you'll get Delphi hits because Delphi has their videos embedded on their own website.
Mm-hmm.
This is, and then Kroof Gaming. I used her Reaper build a while ago when I was playing my Necro in PvP. Great build. I still need to see if it works well with the Necro changes, but I won't ever see her in my suggested unless I'm specifically searching for like Necromancer builds for Guild Wars 2. And then I'll see that one maybe like 5 down because the first couple are going to be Wooden Potatoes or Delphi. And that's just how it is.
Mm-hmm.
So this is actually going to be bad for not just Guild Wars 2 creators. And, you were right, Deo. We don't have the largest online presence. It's going to hit all gaming content creators. Anybody who has a niche thing.
Actually, not even just games, too. I mean, like, other niche...
Yeah.
Other niche life things, too.
It's going to be bad, not just because, people aren't going to get ad revenue, but it also means, like you were saying, Deo, or like you were saying, Age, is like, YouTube won't care to, like, recommend the videos because they're not making money off of it anymore.
Mm-hmm. I do want to bring up the main issue of why YouTube's doing this. So in the email I got, it was we need more safeguards in place to protect creator revenue across the YouTube ecosystem. And this is because I'm just gonna say it straight up. They have a terrible flagging system for videos. It's always been bad. And this is kind of how they're making up for it right now until maybe they actually do better. Because there was like Adpocalypse 1, there was Adpocalypse 2, and basically that means like
mass demonetization.
Yeah, because like advertisers were leaving as a result of different things. And then we had copycat. We had copycat channels, so, people who stole other people's videos, and those channels weren't being flagged properly, and so there's a lot of issues. So this is why they're putting up the threshold. But I feel like one of the main problems is YouTube's flagging system. It's been terrible as a start. It's been horrible the last 6 months. You see like people tweeting left and right about their videos getting demonetized because they don't suit an audience when they're actually really okay, and it's weird. But
I like seeing inks saying like, I talked about the Black Lion chest, demonetized.
Yeah, and I've seen. I have never gone demonetized, but anyway, Phil DeFranco actually got a few of his videos demonetized as well. And I know Stylosa, who is an Overwatch content creator, one of the biggest ones out there, he got his 1 or 2 of his videos demonetized as well. So it happens to everyone on the spectrum. So it's kind of weird how it goes. But to bring it back to what QD mentioned, like Twitch made it easier with the affiliate program. I feel like with Twitch, it's actually good for gamers who are on YouTube. If they want to start streaming, it might be actually a good source of revenue for them. Tell your YouTube audience like, hey, I'm going to start streaming on Twitch as well as YouTube, or make the transition.
Or I mean,
whatever.
you don't even have to technically stream. They have an upload feature. Like you could theoretically put your videos up on Twitch. I mean, no ad either way. We do put this on YouTube.
But yeah, and I was gonna say, oh yeah, Twitch actually I think released something this week, centered around videos, like video intros or something like that. I didn't look into it, but
no, I didn't even see that. But cool.
Yeah. Oh, another advice for you guys who want to monetize your videos is I got from Mike B on his tweet. He said, make a song, like an easy song that you put for your intros or outros. Put it on CD Baby so that it's registered in the YouTube licensing system, and when they flag your video and put ads on your video, you actually get money from it.
So basically create something that you can copyright and then upload it so that it gets flagged with Content ID.
Yep.
Okay.
That was pretty smart.
Yeah, hey, it's using their system. But I think the biggest question is, in a time where Guild Wars 2 and ArenaNet were like, we want our audience, our fans to be our, advertisers. How does this fare? Because I mean, I know a lot of people say make the video because you love to, but that is also a nice incentive. Like Age said, some people use that as like, oh hey, I made my first $100. It might have took like a whole year. It's not like something you're living off of, but it's a nice milestone to it. And at the end of the day, money is a great incentive, no matter how much. It's like, I'm doing this for fun, and I got, pennies if I break it down, like the days I've done it, like, but I still got something out of it, kind of a thing.
Yeah. I mean,
like you can show something for it.
Yeah.
In regards to you are our advertisers, this ain't great. But honestly, I just see this as basically somebody at Google decided that YouTube is no longer like a social media style platform, and now it has to make money. I'm gonna pull from Jim Sterling and say that it is not enough to make some of the money. They want to make all of the money. Because that's what this feels like. I understand that like there is a crazy amount of data to store on YouTube. And not gonna lie, I would honestly have to say that, maybe start removing stuff that's like super old, have an actual data retention policy for YouTube. I don't know how that would work.
That's interesting.
But, I mean, we're talking about, they get, what, something like 4,000 minutes of video uploaded every hour?
Yeah, it's like impossible to completely monitor it, like.
Yeah. Yeah, and Sale SD, you're right. It's like I see nothing but recommendations for like clips of TV shows, like late night talk shows and stuff. Big company creators that are just they're on TV already, and I'm getting recommended to their YouTube clips.
Yeah, they want to slice up the pie. And plus, you know, with all the stuff happening in the U.S., it's kind of like popular things to watch on YouTube. So I mean, it brings in the money.
Yeah, but it's
wait. Are we trying
thing.
to bring more tags? Like all the stuff that's happening in the U.S., like Trump and like I'm just creating more tags. Oh, did you hear that Dr. Disrespect was returning to Twitch? Like, should I just keep throwing in more?
You read the if you're on YouTube, if you read the tags list, it might last long. It might take you longer than watching the video.
Yeah. But retiring videos, as it were.
Yeah.
I don't know, because you know how like Ray William Johnson had =3. Like I really like some of those videos. Every now and then I'll go back and watch a few of them. Like I love the Sunny D and Run one. That was great.
Right. Well, and it's one of those things where it's like I'm not even fully sold on the idea, but there's so much data. And I also realized that, I mean, hell, they can, I can't remember who did it, but there's a format for micro SD cards that puts 2 petabytes on it. Like, you know, the little tiny, teeny chips that you can stick in your phone. 2 petabytes. That's the step over terabyte. Okay. And Google has literally all the money.
Yeah, I just honestly think it's because their flagging system has been so terrible, and they don't want to lose advertisers anymore. And this is their like band-aid solution until they can actually come up with a viable.
The only problem is everything I've heard from any of the YouTube content creators that I follow are basically saying it's like the only thing YouTube does is band-aid. They don't actually implement decent systems.
That's the problem.
So,
yep.
I mean, to add another tag on there, but I've heard Rooster Teeth in the past, and we kind of hit upon it with the Dolphy thing is, you know, and a lot of people are saying, like, where would we go? It's like, if you're a content creator, you know, try to get your own website if you can. Like, I know Squarespace, like one of the lower packages that you can buy now. No, I'm kidding.
Hashtag not sponsored.
That should just be the title of the show. Hashtag not a sponsor. Hashtag not an ad.
Get sponsors for this stuff.
But you know, kind of like what Jim was saying about Dolphy is she has them on YouTube and then she has them on her website, which helps that whole algorithm thing. But there's also ads on her, you know, website. It's like, you know, but yeah, that's probably the best thing. It's like if you put these videos on your website, YouTube can't take it away, because a lot of them, I think Squarespace, and I'm pretty sure the other ones like Wix and stuff like that, if you have the high enough packages, I think they all have their own internal like I don't think
HTML5 has a native MP4 player.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think you have to go through YouTube. It makes things easier, but you know, you could theoretically just have it on the website.
Webcode in general has a player built in. Just the internet right now, you can play a video. You can just slap it in there.
Yeah.
YouTube's is a good, like, basically the YouTube video link just means that it talks back to the YouTube system to say that somebody watched it. It puts like the recommended videos after when you finish the video. It has like a little info tag. That's what the YouTube player does.
Yeah. So I assume like sites like YouTube like they have their own video player, and then, you know, like Malthus says, it gives them stats and stuff like that. So with generic browser like Chrome browser, like you would just play videos and things like that.
And yeah, CLSD is also bringing up points is like that there is some things with hosting where you have to pay for traffic costs and bandwidth and et cetera, et cetera. So it's difficult to go from small YouTuber to managing a site that can pay for itself.
I still don't, because at the same time, I still think they're making more than enough money to actually support that.
And the other thing, SailSD, with the ads on your site, Google AdSense, you can just put Google AdSense ads on your website.
Yeah, you're probably not going to get the same package as the YouTube ones get, but it's...
But the problem with the adpocalypse is that advertisers would see that they were on one bad video, and they would pull all of their ads from YouTube. it's far easier for them to see stuff on a site-by-site basis. So YouTube, you're talking about reach. I mean, it's YouTube, right? An advertiser pulls literally all of their stuff from YouTube. That is a huge chunk of money.
Mhm.
If you are a single person running a single site, it's so much easier for you to verify that you are not displaying bad actor content, basically. Because you have a specific URL, it can be researched very quickly. There's no algorithm behind it. It's not like you're gaming the system like the bad actor, like kids videos that turned real disturbing after like the first 15 seconds. So
yeah,
chat saying, where's it written that says that creators should be able to make a living for the stuff? I mean, it is a dream job. You need to be super epic. You need a team.
That depends how much work you put in, I would say. I would say to some extent, maybe, yes, you need a team. Like if you're...
It depends on what your scope is, what your thing is.
Like, for example, actually, Bog Otter, he's a good example. Like, he has, I guess he started off on his own with Twitch and YouTube and stuff, but then, like, to manage his time better or to manage different things better, he has, like, someone to make and edit videos. He has a widget who helps manage like streams and stuff like that. I don't know if he has anyone else, but you know, that's like a small team, as it were. So and Fenris does his video editing, right? Yeah. Oh yeah, it's Fenris who does the video editing, and I think he does some of the thumbnails as well.
Yeah.
But,
and oh, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. No, go ahead, Dave.
I was gonna. It seems like you're kind of referring to the Logan Paul incident with the whole he screwed it up and this is why they did this. Really, I would really recommend, and we might link it in. I don't have the link on me, but if you're watching this on YouTube, I'll probably have it in the description. But I'll try to eventually link it here in chat. But Philip DeFranco's video, that's the one I saw. He kind of explains it where this all didn't happen just because of Logan Paul, which a lot of people took that leap with. What I think he says, what really feels like the Logan Paul part of it is once you are a partner, YouTube partner, I think they will visually look at your videos, like personally,
manually,
manually look at it.
The algorithm doesn't touch anything anymore at that point.
But a lot of this, a lot of this stuff is kind of like what Jim was talking about. Those ones that preyed on like the child playlists of like, you know, oh, it's Frozen, but it's some guy that's like doing something like horrible to, you know, a woman or something, like a woman in like a Frozen outfit or, you know, just a lot of horrible that would end up in the children's playlists. So that's kind of what the other stuff is about, but you know,
it's an overall. I did make a tweet about the YouTube stuff, and I kind of mentioned Logan Paul, and I kind of want to rephrase that tweet. I said because of the Logan Paul incident, I should have said in response, because it's actually more of a response in addition to the other things that have been happening, like with the ads being, and you know, the copyright stuff and just everything overall. And kind of the Logan Paul incident was kind of the tipping point, as it were, for pushing the changes in sooner than later. And it's kind of bad that this change happens now, because it does pour on some of the blame onto Logan, even though it's not entirely his fault. But that's the way it goes.
Yeah, but yeah, it's going to be definitely interesting to see how this kind of affects, like maybe more people switch to Twitch or other revenue sources. I mean, and you know, stick with YouTube. Or
speaking of revenue sources,
yeah, you know, maybe this whole YouTube thing isn't working out. Maybe you need to look for a job or, you know, something like that. Maybe, you know, maybe gotta start with an internship.
Cheers,
Speaking of which, if you have a an art degree or you know, learning about the way of art and 3D animation, ArenaNet is looking for an art intern for said 3D animation. And they did say we've created an immersive work-based educational program where intern artists work alongside professionals to develop real skills that are relevant and sought after in the game and entertainment industry. This isn't a standard studio internship where you'll be expected to perform duties that take away from developing your creative skills. Expect to be challenged artistically and provided with opportunities to contribute to the success of the studio in a substantive way. So, and they did say this is not an internship to hire program. They're not guaranteeing any jobs, but you know, it does sound like you're gonna get a lot of intense, you know, experience and probably a good foot in your door in the door anywhere you go. But
I don't think anybody would want a foot in their door.
I would say, like, if you're looking to get into game industry and art design, I would say go for it. I mean, like, okay, Tirza works there, and she's a fantastic artist, hands down. So if people like her, you get to work with people like her, and her at the same time, like that's a great opportunity in my opinion. So I'd say, like, go for it if you have the desire to.
Yeah. I mean, if you've got the experience, just.
I wish I had the experience because I think that'd be fun.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, definitely. Here, we'll throw it in chat, but like we always have, if you want to check it out, definitely. You know, the links are always on the YouTube video in the description. So, any other thoughts on the job posting?
If you can design a legendary, please
like
make it the dagger sword that lost in the pole thingy that was in the design a weapon contest, because I really want that. Thank you.
Make it look like that when it's stowed, so Age is excited, and when you wield it, it looks like a bed. It just turns into a bed for some reason.
How do you wield a bed dagger?
Carefully.
That's like, I'm not
to be fair, daggers in Guild Wars 2 are more short swords than anything.
There you go. Yeah. It's like a little Barbie bed that you're fighting people with. I don't know. But speaking of fighting people, PvP League Season 10 started. We did talk about it a little bit last week. I mean, but unfortunately, it seems like with some match manipulation, as kind of sounds like every time it seems like we have to say this.
Let's start off with how Malthanis did. Let's start off with some positivity.
So every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I stream here on twitch.tv/TalkingSkrit for a 0 to Hero PvP night, where I have been playing.
Because we can be sponsored by ourselves.
We can do that?
Sure,
how much are we paying ourselves for this?
How much do you have in your wallet to give yourself?
Got my wallet. Okay, so okay, there we go, camera. Went 8 matches in my placements. Went 5-3. The losses, none of them were terrible, thankfully. I think there was one where we lost 498 to 500.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah,
that's good.
There was another match that we lost because it was faux fire and they were fighting our Lord, and we had 3 cap, and if we would have been able to save the Lord, we would have won. But I was stuck fighting a Scourge, because once a Scourge starts fighting you, you are permanently crippled. And there was literally no way for me to get away in time to help at Lord. It's not terrible. There are a lot of people that are just so very angry in PvP.
Yeah.
And I don't get it, because if you start telling somebody that they suck and that they're bad, your intent is to make them feel bad because they're making you feel bad, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the problem is, if you make them feel bad, that's not going to make them play any better. So the net effect is that you are just ensuring your own defeat. Because I don't know many people who get angry and then get super focused and then suddenly carry the team because they're angry. People like that exist. I'm not saying that they don't. But generally speaking, it doesn't happen because a lot of the time people focus too much on raging in chat. But that's it.
You know what those people need? They need to watch my video on how to play in PvP ranks, which is on my YouTube channel. So watch it before the
hashtag ad.
Well, I do have a video like that, but you know, don't have to watch. But yeah, when people need to realize it's pointless to get mad at when you're in like. I'll use bronze to gold for an example. Like if you're in bronze to gold, chances of running into the same person twice is very low. I mean, you might run into them once again in the season, but that's pretty much it. So like there's no point in getting mad at them and telling them they're bad. You might as well focus on the person who's going to be in every single match, and that's you. If you don't get better as a result, there's no point in just there's honestly no point. You're just going to stay stuck where you're at because you're not trying to improve. You can't change other people. You can only change yourself. When you reach higher levels of the game, like platinum and legendary, it's more mechanical. But the thing is, everyone knows how to play the game at a high level because they reach there. Mm-hmm. So you're not necessarily going to I highly doubt people yell at each other at that point. Maybe they do, but you know, it's just frustration, if anything.
So actually, you know, Mithrin brought it up. So Deo, if you want to intro us into the.
Well, I was just gonna say, I mean, yeah, they're probably not arguing because the match was already decided because people apparently were match manipulating. So, PvP player Ajax shared the secret to match manipulation and how to do it on Reddit. We're not going to be talking about how to do it because that's just, you know. But he previously posted on the forums, but the post was taken down and was banned. Basically, Ajax's goal was to force ArenaNet to address the issue, as it's been one for a long time, which definitely, like I said before, it feels like we are always talking about this.
Yep.
But yeah, basically saying this is how the leaderboard is being manipulated. It's been going on for several seasons since ANet has chosen to ignore it, and since it apparently doesn't violate the toss. Please feel free to abuse it. Enjoy top 10. And that was from Ajax on the. But yeah, I could see why they wouldn't be happy with that statement, but I mean, going back to like, you know, Jim's favorite expression from Inks, you know, they just kind of.
So, without getting into the method of this, well, see, the problem is, Mithrin, if it does violate it and they can track people doing it, why don't they do anything about it?
And they've been very lax on dealing with it.
The answer, well, the only problem is that the only reason this method works is because of a low PvP population. That is literally the only reason this works. This functions because it abuses a low population pool. I can't say any more about that. You'll have to figure it out yourselves because I'm not going to talk about it on the internet and propagate it, or maybe I should in order to get ArenaNet to address it. But yeah, the SailSD basically says if they do massive ban waves, it would kill PvP. Now, honestly, I think one of the things that helped kill PvP is the crafting marks. When they introduced Ascended gear from Ranked, my queue times were never over a minute and a half. Ever. Even like an hour before reset, when queue times are really low because people just want to wait until reset to get their dailies done. The Grandmaster crafting marks ruined PvP population and indirectly.
You know, I feel like not having competitive rewards, and I mean like I don't mean PvP rewards. I mean like competitive rewards, like rewards that you get and
because you're at a certain rank.
Yeah, the higher you are, you get like a better reward. I think that was one of the problems. The other problem is that you weren't dealing with irresponsible or toxic players early on. If you dealt with them early on, it would have been much better. It would have actually facilitated a much more integrity in your PvP, and you wouldn't have you wouldn't have a lower population than you do now. It may have still been lower, but it would have been a lot better than it was now. But if you start acting now, it's just going to, I think it would actually hurt PvP a lot. So I honestly don't know what I could tell ArenaNet to do now. Because
they need to implement a better reward system. They need to implement, they need to get rid of the Grandmaster crafting marks. I honestly think they need to get rid of Grandmaster crafting marks because
I think that echoes our sentiments exactly.
Yeah, she's been on point with
Oh my god. No, she's doing the Griffin quest, and she managed to land a very difficult landing with the trainer Griffin. Okay. But if they change the reward for gear, you'd bring a lot of PvE people back in. Because that's why there were so many PvE people in PvP, is because it's like, hey, look, you can PvP your way to Ascended gear. Sure, you have a limited amount that you can get every season because you only get so many tokens, so many tickets, and that's fine. But the biggest issue is that the only reason I bought a dagger on stream this past Wednesday. Took me 3 Grandmaster weaponsmith marks. You want to know how I got those? From PvP. Because in order to get people to actually buy them, they put them in as rewards from the pip chests.
Yeah.
If you have to hand someone the thing that you added to the game that was supposed to make things easier, you did it wrong. That's it. Your system is bad, and you should feel bad.
Yeah.
Really, ArenaNet, I don't want the devs to feel bad. I'm just saying I want you to fix it. I know what it's like to be a developer and have demands made of you, and that's fine. I understand. Yeah. The second thing, what Age brought up, is time-gated rewards. I realize ArenaNet is kind of loath to do this, especially in PvE, because they said, hey, every map is now time-locked to a certain point in the Guild Wars 2 story, which I hate. I like the fact that I missed stuff in Guild Wars 2 in Season 1. I enjoyed the fact that the maps could change. And now they never will. And that bothers me. That would depend on whether or not I actually am on when they do the AMA, Ada. I'd love to. And, dear, somebody on stream says good luck with the Griffin. It's definitely worth it.
I'm actually enjoying myself. For the past few weeks, I've logged into Guild Wars 2 and looked at how much I have to do to get my freaking hair.
And you're tired, yeah.
And I'm instantly tired, so I'm just not doing context.
She's a druid, and she has to upgrade to Harrier's gear, so in order to raid again, she's not looking forward to that. But
I could help with that. Don't worry.
You've got help from Age for Harrier's gear. So anyway, the issue in PvP is a large portion of PvP is about the prestige. Same thing with WW because it's a PvP game mode. Prestige has to be shown in some way. Literally, the only way we have right now is a badge next to our names that shows you what the rank you were, or are, if the season is currently live, and a little trinket that gives you a halo effect if you win an automated monthly tournament. Those are the only two things that denote that you did something. And they've been changing out the monthly AT reward to show different graphics. But if those repeat in the future, if they're just seasonal, then they don't matter because you won't know when somebody won that.
Mm-hmm.
So at the end of a season, you need to be given a thing that is time gated based on your rank. And starting at a certain point, I think unique skins need to be given to people. I've talked before about a ticket system where you have a set of weapons that are like black line weapon quality are available, each for one season ticket. The set lasts for 4 to 6 seasons. I think originally I said 4. If you are legendary, you get 4 tickets at the end of a season. And then you deduct 1 for every rank down. So that means if you are at least gold, you get 1 ticket. Because gold, plat, diamond, legendary?
Not in Guild Wars 2.
No,
There's 5 tiers.
That's league. So silver would get 1, gold would get 2, plat would get 3, legendary would get 4. You get like a title and maybe like a back piece if you get all of the skins. So if you're legendary 4 seasons in a row, here's all of these weapon skins, a back piece, and a title. Once those 4 seasons are up, gone. Those skins are gone.
That's what I liked about, that's what I kind of liked about the back piece, because I was, I had to play I wanted to play PvP because I wanted the back piece, because I wanted to show that I could get the back piece, like,
and then you find out
a year or less.
Yeah.
And then I thought it was going to be a yearly back piece. I thought it was a great idea. Like, it adhered to what Guild Wars 2 wanted, so that everyone has a chance to get it.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. But, you are time gated in a way so that if you were there and if you were good enough, you would get it faster, or you could get like multiple ones if you really were good.
But Mithrin, you're right. And if you restrict things too much, people will, the opposite effect happens. That's why I start at silver. Silver is not difficult to attain if you practice. Like, I ended the final season, the first season I started playing PvP in Bronze 3, which is the top end of Bronze. I'm not ashamed to say that. A little bit more work, and I was in Silver 2 the next season. Gold 1 the following season. I'm in Gold 2 right now. Or I was in Gold 2 at the end of last season, I should say. Still have to finish my placement matches. But that's why you start the single ticket. So if you're just silver for 4 seasons in a row, you can still get 4 of the weapons. Now, odds are, as a player, you're not going to use too many weapon skins, and maybe you don't like some of them. Yeah. So it's flexible in its reward because maybe you're not going to like them. Hell, my thought would be if the ticket rolls over, like that ticket is just for that weapon set. Once that weapon set is gone, the ticket turns into a gray item and you can sell it for like a gold or 2. So maybe you don't like any of the weapons. Maybe you're not going to get to legendary and the backpack and the title and all that crazy stuff. Hold on to the tickets and you get a bunch of gold at the end of it.
Yeah. I'm looking, I totally forgot how League of Legends did rewards for the end of their seasons. And it's like, you get, like, as you go higher up a tier, you get something more significant. So with bronze, you would get like a summoner icon profile insignia. Silver, you get a silver version of it, of what bronze get. Plus, you get a loading screen and some ward skins. Gold, you get the gold versions of everything in silver. Plus, you get a champion skin, and then it goes higher and higher. So, there needs to be an equivalent.
Does this mean we can be on YouTube now? We have a cat video?
Put cat in the tags. Yeah, we have a cat video.
It's a lot of tags.
I promised the YouTube audience that it would take them longer to read the tag to watch the video.
I don't think we can put that many tags. But
well, you never know if you don't try. But just going all the way back to this match manipulation thing, I guess, to round it out. I honestly don't know what to say. I, like, it's been going on forever, it feels like.
Mm-hmm.
And nothing's being done with it, so, like, what can I do? I don't really play PvP much anymore, and if I do, I just play unranked. Like, I think in the last 3 months I've played maybe a total of 5 games. Or I've had like 3 sessions of PvP. Like, it doesn't feel competitive for me anymore, because at higher levels of the game there's match manipulation, and I don't want to do match manipulation. I want to see how good I am, but if there's match manipulation to decide top 10, then there's no point in me playing. I don't think I'll get top 10, mind you, but like, if I want to progress up there, like, there's no point.
And I and I completely agree with that. And QED, I definitely agree with that. Like, I think a guild ladder system would go a long way to helping improve the community, to increase the numbers in PvP. Because I don't think automated tournaments do a great job in setting up a team combat situation in ranked. I just don't think they do.
Honestly, I don't know if this is what QED was hitting on, but I like I would like to see more things that would make you kind of choose a guild to be like, this is the one I'm going to support a little bit more. Not like, it just feels like guilds in Guild Wars are so utterly pointless. They're just an advanced friends list. Like,
that's interesting.
Whereas in Guild Wars 1, that was your guild. You built faction with them. You built, like, you invested things in there. Like, I don't know. It's just, I don't think guild halls did it enough. Like, I don't know. It just seems like people hop back and forth. But I like the idea of, like, kind of what QED is saying, that community was built around guild versus guild, and you had to be a part of your guild. It wasn't like, oh, well, my guild wasn't doing this great, I'll just join the other 4 that I'm in a list with. Like, it's just,
yeah. To bring up Mithrin's point, I kind of agree to a point with, like, absolute exclusivity, but it's kind of, you have to, I guess in PvP I feel like it's a little different than PvE.
I was just responding the same thing in chat, so yeah.
Yeah, because if you're a PvP player, you're mostly playing to be competitive, and you have your end rewards for the season to show, like, you did well in this season. I don't think PvP player, if you're into PvP, I don't think you'd mind that you missed out on a skin. Maybe, yeah, they could do, like, a rotation thing. I don't think that's beyond the scope of possibility, but I wouldn't mind it the other way either. And Kroof actually brings up an interesting point that I totally forgot about. If you just restricted the queues to just be solo queue, or have it like party queue again, solo queue might actually work.
Like, just flat out solo queue.
Yeah,
that would do it. Like, that would break a lot of the issues. So
I think, yeah, that it pretty much. Yeah, I don't really, like, you can't play with your friends, but I mean, that's the only way to fix it, I think. Now I think about it.
yeah, and that's the weird thing. It's like, I like automated tournaments for, like, hey, if you want to play with your friends and in a serious fashion, the automated tournaments, you can have 5 people or whatever. I'd like to see, like, ranked be like maybe only 1 person, just like, that should be where it's serious. And like I've said in the past, I'd like to see them maybe support custom arenas a little bit better. So if people want to play around, goof around, make their own games, like, you can do that in a custom arena. Like I said, I'd like to see maybe a more permanence of a custom arena once you buy it, and then add all those other PvP fun game modes that they've had in the past and are seasonal, but make them purchasable in the gem store, so they can still get a revenue off of it, and then that'll unlock on your custom arena map. And so it's like, hey, we're gonna have Sanctum Sprint Drunken Mario Kart night, fun time with like guildies, and I could do that in my custom arena. Or I think we talked about in the past, like the Dragon Ball arena. I've seen people mention that last time I brought it up, and it's like you could get these versions unlocked, so you still have that fun aspect that you can play with your friends, have fun games. But personally, that's me. I like to kind of make those games in a thing, and the custom arena was so hard to upkeep, like for just doing those intermittent things. Yeah, like Hunger Games arenas and
you bring like, I know Dale brings up the custom arena thing a lot, but one thing that kind of helps is just it's the idea of facilitating players and their imagination. And I think the custom arena is actually a good idea. If they had huge custom arena maps, like they could do GVGs, and like QED, I know he likes GVG. He would be like down to do that, and maybe he could find guilds that would also be down to do that, and they can have like custom tournaments and things like that. Like that would be a way to facilitate the community.
But Age, you already got your GVG arena in Obsidian Sanctum
and Guildhall. You're fine. We're good.
Look, I have to make one comment that breaks at least one of you every show.
I want Polymorphs. I actually enjoyed Polymorph. For those of you who don't know what Polymorph is, basically you have your minis fight in like this arena. It's basically Pokemon, but it was a lot of fun.
I care more about the gem store minis if it existed. Oh wait, sorry, that segues too soon. I apologize.
No, we could actually go to that right now.
No, you're right on. Speaking of the gem store, let's talk about some of the new stuff that hit the gem store. And always, thank you, Dolphy.net. Check out Dolphy.net so you can spend your gems more wisely. So first up, we have the Summit Chevron Springer for 2,000 gems. It is a mount skin. Of course, it doesn't unlock the mount or anything like that if you, for some reason, don't have it already. But it does take over the Springer mount skin, which is the one that has the vertical leap. But yeah, 2,000 gems for the skin, and it does have some special animations, and I think it has like a bell around its neck. It like kind of the bell kind of jingles when you move like that. So
yeah. ArenaNet, I love you. I want to support you. I like the skin. I think it's awesome that it's like a goat. But I can't do it. I can't do it in good conscience. I just can't.
It's like, it's good. That's good work. The animations are good. The textures are good. This is a solid mount skin. I want to pay that. I can't justify paying that myself. Me personally.
Like if I won the lottery, sure. But like I'm trying to save up for an apartment. I don't have kids to feed yet, but
they just gotta eat.
I gotta eat. I have other games I need to buy that I won't play because Steam knows how to get me. But you guys know where I'm going with this. It's a lot of gems, and the only way I'm going to buy a 2K gem mount is if I absolutely love it without question, and I must get it. Otherwise, I cannot live with myself. That is the only way I'm going to buy one of these. And it really sucks to have to say that, but
that is kind of interesting point that Mithrin brings up. Like, if there was a cash-only currency and things costed like a fifth, or let's just say a fraction, like of the gem store price that is currently now, because if it was a fifth, I don't know, like Jim was saying, this one was nicely well made. I could see this one kind of being one of the higher end pricing ones, not to 2,000 gems, but maybe see it in the 800, 1,000 gem range and still be like, oh, you know, oh, maybe if I like it, but
You know what I would like? What BDO does is that, like, you can buy outfits in BDO, and they're like $30, all right? But what people can do is every week you can buy a max amount of 5 outfits, and you can actually sell those outfits on the auction house. That would be really cool for these mount skins. Like, if you could do something similar.
If there was a market for them instead of just binding to your account the second you bought it.
Because quite honestly, I think that's not a bad idea at all.
yeah, I was gonna say they kind of did that for the finishers at one point, and then they kind of stopped it. Like, I thought it was like a good idea. It was like, if you want to buy them, but you can also, you know, turn around and sell them if that's how you.
But the thing is, like, BDO's marketplace is pretty much set in stone. Like, the prices of things are pretty much determined by the company as a set point, and then supply and demand kind of makes out the rest. But in Guild Wars 2, it might be a little different. That's the only reason I would think that would stop them from doing that.
And turning around and selling it for gold wouldn't. It would be tough because we can already take those gems and turn it straight into gold. So it's like, why would someone do that?
Again, though, the more you do it, because the reason you'd buy something for gems and then sell it on the trading post for gold is you're looking for more of a return. And then you hold on to the gold that you get, you wait for the gold to gem conversion to go low enough to make it worth your while, and you convert back to gems and you do it again. Because that's the point, is that gold to gems, gems to gold is a fluctuating market based on the number of people doing those transactions.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it could work, but I would think that we would need way more mount skins. Like, we would need double or triple the number of mount skins we have now. There would have to be more fleshing out each tier of it. Like, there would just have to be more mount skins for it to drive an actual economy on the trading post right now.
Okay, that's fair.
And yeah, CLSD, something like that, like some kind of loyalty bonus for like being around. Like, that's what the birthday presents are supposed to be. It's like, here's something for sticking around this long.
Here's your Queen Jenna.
That's that's technically like you. That's technically you have your account for X amount of years. I think what CLSD is saying, like, you have played like.
Well, then then how are we going to delete all of Deo's time spent standing in Lion's Arch?
Technically, that counts.
I earned it. I ran around there. I was moving as I was talking with people, but
either way, it's one of those things where, like, these premium mount skins, these are premium mount skins. Anytime I've seen a premium cosmetic thing in another game, these fit the bill. I think they're too expensive. I won't be buying the skin. It looks good, though. If any of you bought it, congratulations. You've got a really fantastic skin that is clearly worth it to you.
Yeah, I just for the record, I am totally not saying don't get it. Like, get it if you want it. I'm not objecting to that at all. It's just that for me personally, like, I have to gauge where my money goes, and as much as I want to support ArenaNet, I will buy, like, I bought the plots because I like that thing, because, like, I can see, like, I like having return investments in those type of things because those are always fun for me. It might take me a year, whatever, but, like, it's always fun for me. But for mount skins, it's a little different the way I think about it, and you know, that's the way it goes.
I'll be the opposite. I can't stand that people are buying these. Okay, controversy. Now everybody embed this into your website so we get bigger hits. So I'm taking it full circle.
Hashtag tag controversy. Put that on the list.
But yeah, so yeah, in all honesty, it's not for me. I know a lot of people that were really like, oh, this one, it's like, oh, why does that have to be 2000? Like, it finally hit them. Like, a lot of people really like the look of it, and I think it's, you know, I think it is definitely unique. It really utilized the frame of the Springer mount, but yeah, I just can't value 2,000 gems to put into that, for me at least, especially a Springer mount. I talked about it on our community Discord thing about like I use the Springer mount and the
Jackal, Raptor,
no,
Griffin,
Skimmer.
Skimmer.
Like, those feel very situational to me, so it's like, if I really didn't buy the other ones, it's tough. It's a tougher sale for me at the same price.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Honestly, I think it's cool looking. You know, if you definitely bought it, let us know. Also new in the gem store, we were talking about finishers. Where is that? Okay. It is the Sand Shark finisher for 600 gems. So basically, it's an account unlock. So, you know, it's perfectly, you know, fine. There's no charges. It's unlimited. But yeah, basically, I think it's basically the same as the Shark rank finisher. I mean, it's basically doing the same thing. It looks like, just.
The Shark finisher just goes up and down. It doesn't do like the kind of swim around on the ground and then no, it doesn't do that.
It doesn't take your body with you into the sand.
Yeah. I mean, it's a good finisher.
Mm.
I dig the finisher. It looks good. I won't buy it because I bought the only finisher I'll ever need, the original guild finisher, because that's the Guild Wars 1 nostalgia right there.
Mm-hmm.
That's fair. I think it's a good finisher too. I have the Super Adventure finisher, which is, I think personally, is the best finisher in the game. But
I mean, yeah. Once again, I'm probably gonna mirror it. I think it definitely looks cool looking. If you don't have a finisher, definitely, if this intrigues you, pick it up. But yeah, I'm kind of, all my characters kind of have finishers already kind of set in place. And I mean, granted, I don't PvP or War of the World. If I do, a lot of times it's like kind of hard to finish someone off.
WW it is hard to finish people. Normally they just
so it's like I don't get a lot of use out of them as is. So I just probably, you know, wouldn't be in the market for buying another one at this point. But yeah, I definitely think it's a cool looking finisher if you're in the market for one. But
if I had a desert themed character, I'd probably get it.
There you go. Yeah. Or if you, like people are saying, the mini Sand Shark, if you have that, you gotta get the set, you know.
I can see a lot of Soul Beasts using this. That would be go for like a Beastmaster kind of theme.
Yeah, that would be cool. But yeah, some returning items. The Vine Touch Destroyer Glider combo for 700 gems. I think there's only about 4 days left on that one. The Glacial Glider for 500 gems, and the Winter Monarch outfit for 700 gems, which both also have about 4 days left. So definitely, if you want those, go pick them up. But,
the glider, the Vine Touch Destroyer glider is pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Got good animation, good particle effects.
Yeah.
Speaking of gliders, just minor tangent, I'm still happy that I use my glider as much as I do, even with mounts existing.
Well, I will take the question from chat, and it's like, why buy gliders right now anyways? Why are you using your glider so much?
Because, one, I don't have the Griffin, so there's that. To be honest, the other thing too is I don't even necessarily want to hop on a mount if I just want to glide to an area. And I can do that because I have my glider, because I have Heart of Thorns. So it's, if you don't want to use your mount and you want something cool looking, and I have a few glider skins and I like them. And honestly, all things considered, I would
Yep.
Oh. Knocked off a cliff.
Why?
Oh.
Me off of edges, but I can't knock them off the edge.
Yeah, I agree with that. Anyway, yeah, that's why I would buy a glider, because I still use it.
Yeah, I was gonna say the reason I still like gliders and use them still is you can kind of use it as an escape in a combat situation, whereas you can't mount on the mounts. Now I think the Griffin eventually gets a skill you can mount as you're free falling, but that only works I think if once you're out of combat, which sometimes that can take a little bit. But with the glider, you can just kind of glide right off the cliff and be like, see ya.
Peace out.
Yeah. So there are still uses for the glider. It's not as much as previously, but definitely some good uses out of it.
Yeah. I like the glider still, and I still use it every now and then. I use mounts a lot too, but I still use glider as well.
That's also a good point, QED. And you can also glide in World v World with the right, as long as you get the right trait thing unlocked. Because don't go in there and just think you just got it. And only do it in your zone. That's the other important thing.
I can't tell you how many times I've gone on my
jumped off a cliff.
Try to glide, and I forget I don't have gliding on that one. So at some point, I'm just like, I refunded all my points just so I glided on that.
Or it's like you glide and then you enter that one area that you don't own. It's like, uh-oh.
Don't you get a warning?
You get like a little bit of a warning, but if you're pretty high up,
yeah,
you either somehow, because if you're high up, the problem is, like, in regular open world, you could, like, drop down a little bit, open it up again, drop down a little bit, open up again. Either you're going to hopefully, if you're too high up, you're not going to find ground within the couple seconds that it gives you before it knocks you off. Or if you take off the glider, it doesn't let you re-equip it.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, crap.
Womp womp.
Yeah. Just make a bag U-turn when you see that sign.
No.
But let us end on a slight happy note. I mean, it's
positive note.
Yeah, the end result is a positive note. So let me just put that out there before people, when we talk about the story, think I'm just a horrible human being. There was a Reddit post, but an individual and their family lost their home of 21 years and all of their material possessions and pets just 2 weeks before Christmas. Like I said, that's not the good part, like that. But they were a big Guild Wars 2 player, like they enjoyed Guild Wars 2, but they had a GoFundMe for $5,000 and that in order to help the family get back on their feet. And I think it was going on for a little bit. They got about 1,500 or so, but all of a sudden there was a donation for the kind of remaining $3,500 to reach that GoFundMe goal, and it was actually done by ArenaNet. And so it was such a nice thing to read. But it also a nice thing that was really cool was apparently ArenaNet also sent out this care package, and we have the pictures of the care package. It was basically a Guild Wars 2 box bundle. Like you can see in there, it has basically all the Guild Wars 1 collector's editions that were signed by devs, and also Heart of Thorns and POF. And I think it had a couple notes of some the devs and stuff saying hang in there, all that, such beautiful, nice words. It's but basically the individual had a response to the support from ArenaNet, and they said, "Never had I imagined that you would donate for my family. I never dreamed that you would help us so very, very much. I have had people give us clothes and food and blankets, and thank you thank you is all I can say. It is a heartbreaking, weak word to say in the light of such generosity, but thank you all from our hearts." And she also added about the gifts. She will cherish them in a fireproof container forever. But, you know, and I think the important thing is, you know, and, you know, we talk week in and week out. It's like, and I've seen it on, you know, Reddit and Twitter and stuff. It's like ArenaNet's only out to make money, and like they say they care about their players. They, you know, it's like, if you didn't see this on Reddit, they didn't, ArenaNet from their Twitter or Guild Wars 2 Twitter or anything, they didn't tweet this out. This wasn't like, they didn't try to get any publicity off it. I think at most Ruby from her own personal Twitter might have been like retweeted like the Reddit post and was like, hey, I'm glad you got, you know, like it wasn't about, you know, saying like, hey, we're good guy ArenaNet. It was just, you know, them caring about their player base. And, you know, I just think that's just great. But
that, and I as I read this when we found the link, that comment about the fireproof container, the amount of resilience that it would take someone to make a joke about this kind of thing happening to them is honestly very impressive.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm kind of shocked by it in a good way. But I really appreciate ArenaNet for it's nice to see the human side, because the internet kind of strips away a lot of the layers of humanity that we present to each other, you know, face to face, like actually standing next to a person and talking to them. Just text on a screen makes things really impersonal. One of the things that I said even back when we talked about, you know, Mo's statements during Mount Gate is like, some of it sounded very condescending, and I'm like, I can't believe that Mo is a condescending person without actually standing in front of him and seeing how he acts. It's just words on a screen can only do so much.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And I appreciate ArenaNet for doing this.
Yeah. Any thoughts you want to add, Age? Or?
I might cry if I do, so I'm not gonna. No. Yeah, that was a really cool thing. Actually, I found this. I did actually find this before Dale actually linked it to us in Discord, but I found. I think I saw it on someone linked it on Twitter, but I thought it was a very cool thing. And yeah, just no one would. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I wouldn't expect ArenaNet to help me out either. In like a bad time is like that as well. But you know, it just goes to show, like, you know, they care as much about us. You know, if we go through tough times and if they can help, they'll try our best. I mean, you know, they did that. They did the what was it called? The stream that they did. The
charity stream, or
the charity stream. I forgot what it was called. But yeah, they did that, and they raised like a ton of money for it. And you know, that's because, you know, I didn't expect them to do that, because they have never really done anything like that. But you know, they actually care about doing stuff like that. And, you know, it shows that they're human, as like Dale's mentioned. You know, it's a really cool thing to see. It's a really cool thing to see. That's all.
So, you know, I don't know how to like really, you know.
Yeah, there's no real transition.
Yeah, but
it's just,
you know, awesome job, and you know, ultimately, yeah, we also hope the person does get back on their feet, and you know, we can move on, and hopefully they get back into the game and start, you know, playing some more. But yeah, that is basically it for this week. Malthanis, where can they find you?
I can be found on Twitter at MalthanisMMO. You can also find me here on twitch.tv/TalkingSkrit. live every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for our Zero to Hero PvP night. I'm going to try and make sure I maintain my MMR in between stream weeks, just so I can not have like the first 3 games of the night be complete garbage. So hope to see y'all there.
Awesome, awesome. And Age, where can they find you?
You could find me on Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube at Age Night Road. I haven't put up a video this month, and in light of the YouTube stuff, I have to do some thinking about it. I'm still gonna upload for the time being. Don't worry about that. But I still have to finish up a video that I'm working on. And streams, I'm gonna try to start having schedules again, so that people know when I'm playing stuff, so they can come and for the games that they want to see. League night. Yes, league night. No, I hear and understand. But yeah, that's all from me for now. So stay tuned.
Awesome, awesome. And you can find me at simply_Deo on Twitch and Twitter. And if you are just popping at the very end, we do stick around. We do a bit of an after show and stuff like that. But if you want to watch this in full, we do highlight it on our Twitch, twitch.tv/TalkingSkrit. But if you want to watch us on YouTube, if that's your preferred platform, we do throw it up on YouTube. That goes up on Sundays at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. And I would like to thank this week for our Twitch hosts, 7-Bit Brian, host of Ascalon, Maple Syrup and Beers. I'm someday going to time this right. That's Chevron, Crescent QT, Jaibu Cole, SOTD_podcast, and Serene Virus. And that's it for this week, and we'll see everybody next week, and we'll see you all in the game. Good night, everybody.
Good night, friends.